Okay.
Hello and welcome back to the Pixel Street podcast. This is episode 151. Last week was 150. We didn't really do anything special. We made fun of John for not having a review up of the nacho cheese machine yet. Where's that at, John?
I've been very tired lately. Okay,
I just want
I'll get around to it.
pictures. I want you guys to have an engagement photo shoot together, like just you and the nacho cheese machine. Like, can you make that happen?
Is Connor sitting here asking us to put out more content?
Yes, I am. Actually, because I can do that. It's totally well within my rights as an American citizen.
Joining us this week is John's Nacho Cheese Machine.
Oh,
right
here!
He keeps it by his feet under his desk.
Yeah,
Keeps his feet warm.
Every now and then you got to just soak your toes in nacho cheese, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Also joining us this week is the man who is terrible at scheduling anything to do with Connor.
I'm a busy
not
man.
a cop.
Listen, I want to say I'm the only married person on this podcast, so
I'm pretty much there.
Doesn't count. It doesn't count. You're not married. It doesn't count. It doesn't count. It doesn't.
Counts.
Listen, it doesn't count. And also, I don't want you to talk to me about responsibility right now because you literally were like, "My dog won't stop whining," and then she peed on the floor right behind you.
That's unrelated.
Those two things correlate. No,
she was whining because Elise just got home and she went in the other room and
she had to pee.
Welcome to the Pixel Street podcast where we argue with each other about responsibility.
It's chaos.
Except for me,
it's chaos.
Because I am the most responsible person here.
That's not true. When's the last time you went to bed at a reasonable time, John?
Yesterday, actually.
I don't believe
early
that.
At 11. I really
Where are
did.
the receipts? Where are the
except
were you depressed?
Well, I took my anxiety meds and also some sleeping medicine. So
here we go. Since we're already off the rails, I have this fortune cookie. I'm gonna read my fortune.
Okay.
You gotta open
it right
while
now.
you open that. I was so drugged up and everything. I fell asleep at like 11 last night, which is super early for me, and I woke up at 12:30. So I slept for over 13 hours.
Jeez.
Yeah,
my man.
All right, let me hear that fortune.
Let's read this.
What's it say?
Is it just for Joel or the whole
You hear the
podcast?
crunch?
No.
Right?
Thank God.
What's
ability.
What's the Chinese word of the day?
Executive ability is prominent in your makeup. The fuck did that mean?
Even mean?
What's that mean?
Lucky numbers.
Stupid.
Lucky numbers are 7, 10, 25, 28, 53, and 23. So.
And I just want to be clear that if you play those numbers that you just heard here on the podcast, you owe us money if you win anything.
Yeah.
Like, we have to have at least half of it. It's legally, there's a contract you signed when you started watching this. I don't know what to tell you if you don't remember it, but you owe us money. So
yeah, 100%.
Are those numbers supposed to be for like the lottery? Is that what that is?
I don't know. I don't know how many numbers you guess in the lottery, so I have no clue.
I've never done it.
Somebody who plays the lottery, chime in and let us know, because we don't.
But at any rate, this week we are going to be talking about video games. We're going to talk about Xbox controllers, because that's a topic that's up in the air right now for discussion, based on some stuff Phil Spencer said this week. And honestly, that's about it. And then we're going to talk about a bunch of random quick news. We're going to have, I'm sure, a lengthy discussion about Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, because I have mixed feelings on that. And then we're just gonna, I don't know, hang out, watch, sit here in silence.
If we have a bunch of time left over, I might have a game for us to play.
It's called Doki Doki Literature.
Shout out one time.
Speaking of, go check out our YouTube channel, subscribe to us there. We have a Let's Play series that's been going up every few days. I think they're like half-hour long videos, right, John?
I try to keep them at a half hour. There's a couple that went to like 40 and 20, but they even out. So about a half hour.
So yeah, go check out that series where we're playing Doki Doki Literature Club.
Just hanging out with these girls right here.
With those girls, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see them behind John. Interesting game, I guess. it's just very repetitive where we pick words.
Joel's never played a visual novel dating simulator, obviously.
I have not. Yo, I don't watch anime. I don't do any of this shit.
Hmm.
I just sit here, hang out with my
Hold up.
collectible Space Jam controllers.
Have you never
My-
watched an anime anything?
No,
He's had to have watched Dragon Ball Z
I watched Pokemon.
and Pokemon counts.
That's
Yeah,
not really
Pokemon
that
counts.
doesn't it counts
No,
like
it does.
counts.
Yeah, we're sure. Yeah.
I have seen some Dragon Ball Z as a kid, but like not enough to retain any knowledge. That show bored the
Oh.
shit out of me as a kid.
So if you had to tell me what Dragon Ball was about, in 20 seconds or
Okay.
less, go. What would you say?
There are 7 Dragon Balls. Goku and Vegeta, they're brothers, right? They're
Okay.
they're
Just let him keep talking. Keep
they're
going.
brothers, and they have to
Yep.
get all the Dragon Balls before Thanos collects them all and snaps.
That's it.
Yep.
You
Wow.
I can't believe it. You just spoiled. We need a spoiler tag.
We
on
don't
the
need
podcast.
600 episodes of
just-
the show now.
Right.
And that's the
Joel
thing
just-
that pissed me off about that show. At least what I saw of it was just like, you would watch a whole episode and they would just talk about the same thing for 30 minutes and be like, next time on Dragon Ball Z, fucking
More
Vegeta eats an
talking.
apple.
A lot of that was because while they were making, well, okay, so the early episodes they made, there was already the manga out that they were going on, so they were able to push them out and everything. But once they caught up to the story,
They didn't know what they were doing.
they
no source
they had to
material.
buy for time. So there's a lot of moments in there where they have to just stall so that
It's,
more manga can
Sounds
come
like
out.
Game of Thrones.
It's exactly
it's
the
what
same
the
thing, except they didn't
hashtag-
keep going. They waited.
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
year
yeah.
or
Except for
younger.
they waited for the source material. They
Yeah.
didn't just
It's
say this is how we're doing it.
Yeah.
It's what the hashtag woke community calls filler. So if you ever need to insulate a house or something, Dragon Ball's got plenty of it. To
So
be
yeah,
honest.
that tangent. Go follow us, subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Twitter by searching Pixel Street there, and you can check out our pinned tweet where you can find all of our socials, including our Discord, where we have to organize a Pale Party night coming up soon. So yeah, do all that.
Contractually obligated to do so, because if we keep saying we're going to do it and we never do it, there's going to be real problems. You can
All
sue
right.
us.
Let's set it right here. Next weekend, good. All right. Let's do it.
What's the date on that? Sure, let's do it. Does it matter?
As long as it's
I
an
know we
Xbox
can't this
game,
weekend.
because I'll be dog sitting for my sister, but
We can do some Halo.
unrelated.
It's been a while since we did Halo.
But yeah,
We'll figure it
let's
out. And we'll
talk. Let's talk about our main topic, which are these guys, Xbox controllers. Look at this, huh? Look at that.
Ooh,
Hey,
you gonna send me that?
Look at that. Yeah, if you want this one, you can. I have two.
Yeah. I'll
As
buy
you
it.
can see.
This guy
So what
flexing.
what happened? I ordered one. It was on my old credit card, and I didn't think it was going to go through, so I panicked, ordered another one right away on my new credit card, and they both went through. So
Yep, I'll take that. I'll when the other controller that you're supposed to
John's
send
John's
comes
about to
in.
owe me like $170 at the end of the week
It is
between this controller and the.
it's either I
Skyward
give it
Sword
to
one.
you or I give it to a store. So like, who cares?
I mean, you could
Fair.
give it to a store. It'd be cheaper shipping. It's probably going to cost me
Yeah.
like $10 to ship.
But then I have to leave. And
Yeah,
I think
that's true.
those have sold out, haven't they?
I think you
Probably.
could still buy this on the Microsoft store, but like this one up here, this one is sold out like immediately. This
Yeah, I don't
black
care
one.
about that one.
This one's cool. I just hate that it has a WB logo on the fucking front of it.
That's why I don't want it. I like the
Um,
colors of it. The colors of it are great.
I'm only going to be keeping one of these three, and I think it's going to be the one that I'm sending you.
Then why'd you
to.
buy all three?
I panic bought them all because I couldn't make a decision, so I'm just going to return the other two or sell them to friends who want them.
Okay.
But yeah,
All right.
Xbox controllers. Xbox might update their controller. Phil Spencer was on the Kind of Funny Games Cast this week, which I actually just watched earlier today. It was really cool
I
to
need
see
to
him
get
on
around
there.
to watching it.
But yeah, he said that he commented on Sony's, PS5 controller, the DualSense, and said, I think Sony's
DualSense.
done a nice job with their controller. We kind of look at some of that and think, are there things that we should go do? And this kind of hints that, like, nothing's off the table. And I think that's the same thing with every new gaming tech that comes out, right? I mean, like, you have to imagine when the Switch came out and Xbox and Sony saw the success that, there were conversations. Clearly they're not going that route of a handheld. I mean, Sony's been there and done that, and they just
They just can't figure
absolutely
out how to support it.
they absolutely just hung the Vita, you know, like they hung them at the stake. They burned them at the stake. Um, but yeah, so I mean, it's honestly no surprise. The DualSense is a fucking really cool controller.
Yeah.
In the fact that I think I speak for all three of us when I say that we predominantly game on Xbox. I wish we had that controller over there, just because it'd be, well, in some scenarios would be annoying. Like, I probably would turn it off when I play like Destiny, just because I play so many hours of Destiny. Like, I could see it like being annoying, like the triggers, like pushing up against me or pushing back at me. But it'd be cool to see just how it works in different games. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I think you know, innovation is obviously so important for the gaming industry, and I love to see companies kind of pick up on other things that should be considered standard across the industry, and I think the DualSense kind of pushes in that direction. It's a great piece of technology on the Sony side. They did a lot of really cool stuff with it, but I would certainly love to see it more across the board. And honestly, a lot of people might think, oh, well, Sony would never let that happen. They've got those patents and everything. I think it would be a great boon for developers too, and a great boon for Sony, because then you would see those features implemented more often. Because a developer wouldn't have to specifically code it for one platform and one platform only, which is a bunch of extra work. And obviously, devs are crunched up against the wall all the time as is. So, um, yeah, those adaptive triggers I think are sweet. It'd be great to see something like that in Halo. I mean, I can imagine pulling the trigger for the Magnum and just getting some real satisfying effect off that. Um, and yeah, it'd be cool. I was hoping that they would have taken the Series X controller up a notch more from what they did. It's a very soft redesign
Yeah,
on
they
what was
very
already a
much
fantastic controller.
they very much took the approach of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I mean
Right.
that paid
Which
off.
I
It was a
appreciate.
safe bet. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a safe bet. But at
Yeah.
the same time, like seeing what the DualSense has done, it just makes me wish that there was more.
Well,
Um,
and Xbox has dabbled in the haptic feedback on the trigger in the past. It was a very early feature in the Xbox One that we saw utilized in some of the early Forza games for the Xbox One. But a lot of developers just didn't support it. They didn't do
it's
anything with it because it
it's
just
not
wasn't
really
worth it.
it's not really haptic though, right? It just kind of
It was
vibrates.
haptic feedback. Well, I mean that is haptic feedback.
Okay.
Um, you know, adjustable tension or feedback, as you will. I forget what they call it specifically, but um, yeah, they didn't quite take it to the degree that Sony did with the PS5's controller, which would have been nice to see. So yeah, I hope they learn some great lessons from it and do some cool things.
I mean, and yeah, and while Sony they have the patents for their specific hairpin triggers, that doesn't mean that Microsoft can't develop something that's like essentially does the same thing but is different. You know
Right.
what I mean?
There's always
Yeah,
a way
functions in a
around a
different way.
patent. For since the 80s, Nintendo owned a patent that
The four-way D-pad, right?
the four-way D-pad, but
Yeah.
they only specifically said the cross D-pad. So that's
Hmm.
why you got PlayStation that was like separated. Sega had like the little adjustable like thing that they had.
Yeah, the rocker
Um,
wheel.
yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't until the Xbox One that the patent expired, and Xbox was like, "Hey, yeah, we'll start putting that into our." But you got such a shitty D-pad in the 360 controller.
Right. Ugh.
But yeah, what else do you want to see change with the Xbox
I
controller? I
want it to
guess
be less clicky. I
I
hate
like it.
clicky?
that.
I
I
like
hate
it.
it. It's so loud. It's terrible for recording. That's
John,
mainly why I hate
look
it.
look at those headphones you're wearing on your head. You think you're hearing clicks?
Yes, I am. I can
There's
hear
no
it through
way.
this. Yes.
There's no way.
It doesn't matter if I can hear it or not. If I'm recording, my mic is gonna pick it up. Regardless, though, yeah, that's the big thing with it. if they do bring in more DualSense capabilities, that would be great for Elite Series 3. Um,
Yeah, I was gonna say I would like to see some of this affect the Elite production as well, because I honestly, since the Elite launched, I have almost exclusively used an Elite controller
yeah,
ever since that. I mean, I have my Series 2 sitting right here next to me. It's my everyday, and I
Like
have my old
I
Series 1 sitting around here somewhere too.
I still have a Series 1, and that's the like
Yeah,
if I'm playing a
it's in the
first
living
person
room, but
shooter, which is most of the time I game, I'd say, I'm using that controller. Just
for sure.
because like I've adapted to the having the back paddles and I feel spoiled using them.
I
Yeah,
Having
switched.
yeah,
them,
no. I'm a paddle guy all the way. I also like the raised thumbstick
yes, I
on
could
the one
definitely,
side.
yeah, the right thumbstick. I can tell a difference when I have it raised. Like I can be
Mhm.
more precise and quick with my movements. But yeah,
Here's
I
mine.
John, you're muted.
I think you're muted. I think you
Whoops,
just got
sorry.
muted.
You bumped
Here's
it.
mine. So I don't use the raised stick. I was for a little bit, but I switched back because it was starting to annoy me. I'm also not much of a paddle guy. I only use A on the back. That was
Mhm.
for playing as Echo in Overwatch, so I could fly and shoot. But other than that, mine is just pretty basic, and I like it that way. But it's so damn comfortable that
Right.
I love it.
It's a fantastic controller.
I
Yeah,
see. I use all four paddles on the back of mine. I use on my right.
I'm just a two paddle guy, so
I have A
just
B.
the one.
So A for jump, B for melee typically,
Although
and
I
then
do
X
have B
Y. X
mapped
is
here.
reload. Y is switch gun.
I have bumped this before, and it's thrown me off. The the thing where the paddle should be, but you can hit the
oh, the
button
little
still to
nub.
activate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
I'm an
thing is,
AB guy.
I play a lot of SWAT when I play Halo, so I feel like that helps me. That's where it helps me the most is because I don't have to take my thumb off the sticks at all, the whole time I'm playing.
Yeah, I always felt like that bringing that to the mainstream and it not having to be a custom controller like a Scuff or anything like that was such a major leap forward for that. I don't want to say pro level, but that prosumer level um, controller on the Xbox side. It's fantastic controller, and yeah, the DualSense is great too, and for as awesome it is, I'd kind of like to see a marriage between the two. A little bit of technology from both sides. So, um, yeah, a lot of cool stuff. It's cool to see that Phil's open to this stuff too, and that he's so open to talking about it. I think that's something that's been lacked for so long in the industry is people just having friendly conversations about their competitors or other companies in the space. Like I always thought it was so weird that there was like a no speech policy between the or no interaction policy between the two companies in any way, shape, or form for the longest time. And yeah, Phil Spencer's totally against that, totally for kind of breaking down those barriers. And um, I like to see them, congratulate each other on things. I saw he congratulated them, I think, when Ghost of Tsushima launched back in the day. It's been most of their major titles. He's posted something, and it's kind of been reciprocated in a lot of ways. So, yeah, again, kudos to Phil. If you watch podcasts at all, you'll know that we're kind of massive Phil Spencer shills around here, but he deserves a lot of that praise, and stuff like this is exactly why. So,
Yeah, back
yeah,
on the Elite Series 2, the only reason I've not upgraded is like I've wanted to for like 2 years, but I don't know, something about spending like $180 on a controller is a lot, especially
very
because
off-putting.
those Elite controllers have had a lot of problems. Like I've heard of multiple people that were like, "Oh yeah,
Right.
my LB broke like the second day I had it and stuff like that." And at this point, I just want to wait for Series 3 because it's inevitable. The Series 2's been out what like almost 2 years now, probably.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, about that.
So I
Yeah.
feel like we're due for a new one.
That's a good point, though. The durability conversation. That's always kind of been my big hang up on the dual sense. Because the more moving parts you add to something, the more technology, the more things that can go wrong, right? And obviously, we're still relatively early in terms of the PlayStation 5 lifespan at this point, and everybody and their brother knows about the Joy-Con situation with the Nintendo Switch, and how terrible those thumbsticks are for drifting. I'm curious to see what the longevity looks like as we move forward. with that DualSense controller. You know, do those triggers break down over time and just stop giving that feedback? Do the springs wear down and it's just
Yeah.
lesser? You know,
Yeah,
it's a lot of
in
tech packed in one controller.
yeah, like in 5 years, are the triggers gonna essentially be like the N64 sticks were, where like
Oh
every
yeah,
like it was just always just like off to a side. There's just like there was
kind of
like a
sagging.
gray area in there where it didn't do anything.
Hmm. Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, there's definitely room for improvement with the Xbox controller. It's just it's a fine controller, and I just think that the
yeah.
DualSense took controllers, I guess, to the next level of what they
It
can
took
be.
risks.
It,
Yeah.
but it, like Connor was saying, if Microsoft was able to develop something similar um, of their own, it would definitely drive developers to be utilizing that more than they currently are. Because I feel like the
Hmm.
best use of the DualSense we've seen right now is just all PS5 exclusive titles that
Right.
Sony pretty much said, "Hey, you have to do something with this," more or less.
Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank, though, the way those guns shoot, you can feel the difference in every single gun in that game, just based on the right trigger alone, which is
I'm
insane.
incredibly excited to get hands on the DualSense use inside of Ghost of Tsushima when that update comes for the next gen. I feel like that's going to be some real next level tech, man.
Yeah, I'm real excited for that update.
Yes, in the new island and everything. I could talk forever about that. I'm so excited, but um, yeah, what a rad controller, man. They Sony, I think their console looks like hot trash. But man, that controller's sweet. It's real cool. Have you guys seen the new colors too? The red and the black they put out?
Yeah, the crimson and the black. The crimson looks kind of pink in some pictures, though.
It
It's
does.
weird.
It does. Yeah. So
All right, I mean that's it for main news. Let's talk about quick
Yep.
news, which, I mean, Nickelodeon All Star Brawl is coming out this fall, guys. This is just we're gonna make this like an extended main news thing because I want to talk about this a
yeah.
little bit.
Okay.
Um, I got irrationally happy watching this trailer, just seeing all these characters fight. But my one thing is, I feel like there's not going to be enough characters in this game to make it like worth wanting to play. How many characters
Yeah.
were in that trailer? Like 8, I want to say.
Um,
Let's see.
I don't know. Okay, so you had Leonardo, Michelangelo, Helga, Zim,
Toaster Man.
uh, Powder Toast Man. Um, who else was it? Nigel.
Here we go. I have a list up.
Okay.
We have Michelangelo, Lincoln Loud, who I don't know, Powdered Toast Man, Sandy Cheeks, Patrick Star, Ablina,
SpongeBob.
Nigel Thornberry, which I thought was fucking hilarious, Lucy Loud, Lincoln Loud, Lucy Loud,
Yeah.
SpongeBob SquarePants, Helga, Reptar, Zim from Invader Zim, Danny Phantom, and Leonardo.
Yeah. That's actually a pretty good list for a small fighting game, actually. But there are
Korra
definitely.
from Legend of Korra, as well, the sequel to Avatar, was actually spotted on the cover in the silhouettes too.
Gotcha.
That's one of the big things that people are talking
There's
about. So it does seem like there's more as well.
there's got to be more because you don't include 2 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You have to put in all 4.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Also, Helga being in there, but not Arnold. That's weird.
That's weird. I
Um,
mean, there's a lot of like Nickelodeon, like I said, Fairly Odd Parents would be pretty cool. Like, what does that look like? Seeing like Timmy Turner, like calling in shit with, I don't know.
yeah, yeah. Don't
Give me
expect a
Crimson
lot
Chin.
from this game.
Give
Don't
me
expect
Crimson
a lot
Chin.
from that game. Yeah, he'll
The, the,
probably
the
be
best
in there.
the best tweet I saw was like, man, I can't wait until they add Amanda Bynes as DLC.
They want to get
Oh,
as far away
man.
from her as
The
they can.
lobsters.
Oh, I know, she's fucking.
With the
She's a
lobsters.
whack job.
Yeah, but yeah, don't expect a lot from that game. Honestly, if it's any good, consider it a good day because
Yeah, I was listening
the
to.
kart racers have not
Yeah,
been great.
I was listening to Kind of Funny Games Daily yesterday, and Barrett, who played a lot of the kart racer, was saying like, don't expect anything from this game because apparently in the kart race they had like no voice audio. They didn't have the rights
Yep.
to any of the music from the Nickelodeon shows. And so like he's like, "Yeah, I fully expect in this brawling game that when you hit somebody, they're not going to make any noise. Like they're not going to like scream, screech, nothing. They're not going to feel pain, like nothing. Just because like it seems like they didn't get the rights to any of the audio, but they only got rights to like all the visuals, which is very strange."
Yep.
All right, moving on. There are 7 Persona announcements between now and fall 2022.
A lot of Persona.
That's too much Persona, I would say.
Yeah, I'd be right there with you.
I honestly, I'd say more than half of these are like, hey, go get this figurine, go get this collectible,
Like
It's-
some kind of crossover or something.
go get this
Yeah.
bomber jacket.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, maybe we see like Persona games coming to Xbox in some way. That'd be pretty cool. With how successful the Yakuza games have been coming over to Xbox recently. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've always wanted to play a Persona game, but I don't play on PlayStation really that much, so it's not something I'm going to go out of my way to play. But if I had it on Xbox, maybe I would give it more of a chance.
It's also just one of those games that too big for me. I'm not gonna
Dude,
put that
yeah,
much time into it.
hundreds of hours. It's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time I say that, someone gets mad at me. So whatever, at me. I don't fucking care.
You think this man cares? He's got a nacho cheese machine.
Yeah, I've got
It's
everything
true.
I could possibly want.
Moving on, Ghostwire Tokyo is delayed until early 2022. Honestly, guys, I don't know what this game is. I just know
Oh,
it was a big
yeah,
deal.
what
I
are
was
you
gonna
talking
say-
about? How could you possibly forget about the game where we met and learned about Nakamura, the
Well,
heart and
I
soul of
mean,
the video game industry?
yeah, and we've also seen pretty much nothing except
Yeah.
for like 30 seconds of kind of gameplay, I guess. And it didn't even really look that great. I feel like the second showing of the game was far worse than the first showing. And I wonder if maybe that played into a little bit. Obviously, the coronavirus conversation and how difficult development is right
When
now.
did they show it again?
But
I only remember the one at E3 with Ikumi
um,
Nakamura.
Yeah, so Ikumi Nakamura was
Probably a
in the
state of play.
original, but there was a gameplay shown a little bit later. I forget what event it was. I'll have to see if I can track it
June
down. but
11th, 2020. So probably just a state of play is when this video is uploaded.
Something like that. Yeah. And it really didn't look that great at all. And I wonder if maybe there was a little bit of feedback pushed up towards the dev team on that. And they're kind of reassessing it because, man, I was all in on this in our initial look with Ikumi Nakamura, and then I saw that gameplay and immediately lost all interest.
It looks
in
like a
this whatsoever.
modernized Dishonored to me.
Yeah, but
I've
bad.
never played Dishonored, so I don't know.
Also not good. If Dishonored was just bad, modern, and also just not good, then it would definitely be what Ghostwire Tokyo looks like. I hope it's good. Don't get me wrong. I want it to be an awesome video game. But also Ikumi Nakamura is not involved anymore, so I don't really care.
Mhm. Yep.
So
I mean, cool name for a game, though. I'll give it that.
Yeah,
Moving
yeah.
on, Stadia is now going to offer developers a cut of the monthly subscriptions based on player engagement. To be more specific, they said that 70% of the subscription. So if it's a $10 a month subscription, 7 of that $10 for every subscription is going to be split up amongst devs, depending on how many people are playing their games, which is interesting. But desperate.
Yeah, I think you could certainly read it as that. My initial reaction to this was that any kind of additional monetization for in favor of development teams is typically a good thing. Obviously, we've seen Epic kind of move very heavily into the PC space and offer a much better cut on any kind of sales or profit than Steam and the other players out there. However, I did some looking on Twitter, and game devs are a little worried about this from the looks of it. And a lot of it stems from the fact that this is really starting to get into the territory where pay pay, compensation, profit, or whatever is tied to how long a game is interacted with or how much it is played. So, of course, that model is going to favor uh, online games or freemium games or continuous seasonal type games with battle passes and just all the stuff we've seen crop up in the industry over the past couple of years or so. And I think it's a little worrying, to be honest with you, is I don't think that's the route to go whatsoever. There's a lot of smaller indie experiences that I think are incredible and certainly worth playing out there. And there's a lot of games that I don't think get made if you change this monetization model and start encouraging them to artificially inflate players' playtime. It's not only disrespectful to your average player, but it also takes away from, again, some of those smaller, more succinct experiences out there that, again, I think are just as important as your AAA blockbusters. The games like, and of course, it's got a ton of playtime because it's a roguelite, but games like Hades, games like What Remains of Edith Finch. I mean, it's not a terribly long game, but I really enjoyed my time with it when I did play it. There's a lot of smaller things that could be affected negatively by this. So not saying that's where the industry's going or anything, but um, it's something to kind of be on the lookout for as the conversation expands. And also, um, fuck Stadia. I mean, who even cares about that platform? Really, I haven't seen them make good on almost any of their promises that they've had out there since day one. And from all intents and purposes, it just seems to not be a great platform for gamers, for developers, for really anybody involved. And it's unfortunate, but I mean, it's kind of what we all saw coming, right? John, any thoughts on it?
I don't really care about Stadia. I never have.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's whatever. This is just uh like you guys said,
Google being Google.
a desperate attempt to try and stay relevant, but yeah, within a year I'd be surprised if they're still backing it.
So
Things are just
that's what I was
not
going to
going well.
ask. I was going to ask if you have any predictions as to how much longer do you think Stadia even is a thing, really?
I
Do
don't
you do
know.
you think
I
it makes
mean,
it to the end of 2022? Because I feel like it doesn't.
them cutting off all of their in-house developers was a massive hit. So they no longer have to stick with them. So they could cut it off at any time they wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to do it. They're not just going to come up and say, "Hey, all right, boom, that's done." They'll give a little notice. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, my guess is maybe fall time they announce that they're cutting the cord, and spring, maybe summer next year is where it actually goes out of business.
Would not surprise me. Would not surprise me at all. It looks like Joel was abducted. So I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm going to
Oh,
take over here and we'll keep going on the quick news. So next up here, we've got someone bought a sealed copy of Elder Scrolls Skyrim for $600. It was a sealed copy for the Xbox 360. $600. That's a lot of money
yeah.
for a game you can get on Game Pass.
Well, it's also
A
at this point
collector's
it's a
thing.
collector's item. Yeah,
Of
collectors
course.
spend a
Yeah.
lot more.
Vintage, dude.
But
That's what they say.
yeah, I kind of
Also,
dumb.
who cares, right? Like,
I mean,
you know,
it's at some point it's going to go up in value,
yeah,
because it
certainly.
is such a revered game. So that $600 investment could turn into a couple thousand.
Exactly. Yeah.
If they ever stop releasing Skyrim on everything ever
No,
made,
and then not even if they
possibly.
stop releasing it, just in general,
It's
it's going to go up in
No,
price.
it's
certainly.
just
Yeah, no,
the
I
game
know it's a
itself has to
retro
become
collectors
rarer.
community and everything. And there are certainly games that I would love to have sealed. That's a great question. Joel, pick a game to have sealed, sealed original copy of for your collection. What would it be? Just one. Can't pick multiple. It's got to be one.
Halo 2 Collector's Edition. The metal
That's with the
case.
steel book and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been
Even
on the
though, like,
lookout for a good condition one for years, and they're all rusty and terrible.
yeah, I mean, I have one, but it's not great.
Right.
The disc is scratched to shit. I remember because this is before the digital age where like nothing would install to your hard drive. Um, and yeah, I remember that disc was played so fucking much that I would have to go through like ridiculous measures to try and get it to work. And I remember at one point I was flushing it in the toilet because I read that online. You flush it in the toilet and it like helps clean the disc. And I
Are
did
you
that
serious?
and it
You put your
fucking
Halo
worked.
2 in the toilet?
Yes,
What a
I did.
fool.
And you know what? It's on that shelf right over there.
Listen, I have a watch to sell you. Uh, we'll talk after this. John, what would your game be?
You can't really see it because of my green screen, but Super Mario 64.
Right on.
This is a box copy, but it is not sealed. So,
Uh, so a
Super
sealed
Mario's
copy just sold,
yes,
didn't it?
yes, for $1.5 million. So, I don't expect to get a sealed copy
So
anytime
so
soon.
so if
Yeah.
you want a copy, John's willing to part with his for $500,000.
No, I'm
Of
not because
course.
I love this. So Super Mario 64
Not
was
even.
my very first video game I ever played. I adore it. I could go back to it and play it at any other time.
Incredible.
I also have Mario Kart 64 here. Again, not
Oh,
sealed, but
rad.
it's the box. Um, I also had Donkey Kong Country for the Super Nintendo, but I sold that. But yeah, if you want me to give a different answer than some box that I already have, probably Super Smash Brothers for the N64. I absolutely adore the Nintendo 64. I love these boxes, and I mean the boxes are why it's so hard to come across rare.
Yeah.
They're so rare
Hmm.
because they're cartridges. You take them out and then you throw away the box. That's why the NES, SNES, and Nintendo 64 boxes are so hard to find.
And not only that is those boxes are like flimsy trash.
Yeah,
They're
but
so
I
flimsy.
absolutely love them. Um, yeah,
Cool.
my childhood right there.
Good pick. Yeah.
Cool. Side note.
Mine would have to be. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Okay. Mine would have to be probably BioWare's Knights of the Old Republic, for sure. Original Xbox. There's also something about the original Xbox cases that I've come to appreciate much later in life because I hated those things back in the day, but they're very
Why?
aesthetically pleasing. I
Why?
just there's something about them, their form factor. I'm very into them. I know it seems ridiculous, but I was strolling through. Maybe it's a nostalgia, like rose-colored glasses or whatever. But I was walking through my one of my local game stores, and I actually found a couple copies of the Knights of the Old Republic games. They were all beat up and everything, but um, those cases were fun, man. And all of the cases we get nowadays are basically the same pose done 700 different ways. So it's just not as fun anymore, you know.
What
Yeah.
I was gonna say, something I ordered online over the weekend, the Halo Reach Collector's Edition statue. I
Hey,
got that coming in the mail.
it's blurry, but it's behind me. Yeah, I've got it
I
hanging out right at the top of my display
I
here.
paid $47 for it, which is really good price for that, and it's complete. It has all the guns
Rad.
and everything.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's hard to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, one more thing I'm gonna say I bought just because I know John's gonna give me shit about the Doom vinyl. I bought the Celeste
Oh,
vinyl.
Okay. Well, that's a great purchase. I'll
Yeah,
give
I
you that.
know. Yeah,
But
I'll
buy the
send you.
Doom vinyl.
I'll send you pictures of the Celeste one when I get it, cause like the design of the vinyl is like really fucking cool.
That's awesome. No, that's a great purchase. The Doom vinyl. If I had a record player, I would definitely get the Celeste and the Doom one. There's a lot I would get. It's actually probably a very good thing that I don't have a record player. Um, yeah. We were talking about covers and everything having the same thing. Going back to the Skyrim thing real quick. Skyrim does not have an interesting cover. Like I don't.
no.
It's
Yeah.
just
It
like
doesn't.
black and gray, right?
It's just
Hmm.
black and it has the dragon symbol on it.
Hmm.
That's what I
That's
thought.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, what the
So
fuck? Who's buying that? That's not cool.
yeah. No, it's not
Fucking-
cool
That
at
game
all.
will never make it anywhere.
No.
Fucking nerds.
But look at this. We got Mario flying over Peach's castle. We got a gigantic Goomba here. This is gold right here. I love this.
All right, moving on. That's it.
All right, you guys want to play a game?
Absolutely.
Sure. I mean, I have no games to talk about because it's just the same games I played the past
Well,
few weeks.
let's
Same.
save that for after my game because I
Okay.
don't.
Well, okay,
I can't
well,
see
I
the
have
time,
nothing.
and you do.
He was saying he has nothing to talk about anyway, so
All right.
you
Well,
could
we're
just
gonna
not
we're gonna
save it.
play a game. Okay.
Oh, okay. Let's do it.
Do you guys like acronyms?
Uh,
Of course you do. Everyone
As much
loves
as
acronyms.
the next guy.
In fact, video games love acronyms. That's why they throw them into the most weird spots. And then once they have the acronym in there, they have to figure out what it means, what it stands for. And this is where we really realize that games kind of work backwards with this kind of stuff, where in real life, you have a long set of words and you're like, oh, let's shorten that down. Here, they throw in that shortened version and then they have to expand it. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw out an acronym. I'll tell you what game and everything it's from. And then both of you, I'm going to have guess it. I will honestly be surprised if either of you get any of these.
Okay.
So
All right.
what's the point of the game?
To have fun, Joel.
We get to look like idiots.
Yes. All right. So we'll start off with what I think should be the easiest one, because this was mentioned in the state of play last week and also last year when it was announced. But Fist, and it's from the game Fist, and then it says the acronym.
Oh man.
I don't even know what game this is.
This is the game with the rabbit that has the metal arm on its back that it uses to fight people. It's like a 2D brawler, it looks like.
Doesn't help me
Yep.
at all. FIST stands for fighting, fighter. One of those? No? Am I close?
Give me the acronym.
I got nothing.
Just throw together 4 words and tell me.
Found in
Fight-
street trampled.
All right.
Not it,
Fighter,
but
fighter interface, sustainability, tranquilizer.
Oh, Joel, you were so close, except you weren't at all. Fist stands for Forged in Shadow Torch. So
Right.
But you see, that was my next guess. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this is the game Fist Forged in Shadow Torch. No idea what that means or anything. All right. Next up. Okay, this one okay. When I said none of you should get any of these, this one you probably should. Special from Fallout.
I don't remember.
It's just the perks, right? It's
What are those perks?
strength,
Yeah,
perception.
strength.
What the fuck does E stand for?
E is fuck, not effect. eh,
Charisma is C. Intelligence
luck.
is I. A is agility. L is luck. So what is E?
What is E?
excitement.
Energy.
Energy.
No. Shut up. It's not energy. Strength.
I can no
perception.
longer endure this, and I will tell you it is
Endurance.
endurance.
Endurance. Yeah. Thank you. That word
Yeah.
didn't exist in my brain.
So yeah, like it's not really the perks; it's just
Stats.
the categories of the stats. Yeah.
Stat point categories.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever.
Next up, Fear from the Fear series.
Oh.
I've never played those games, so
Neither have I.
It's like something assault response, isn't it? It's like
You got one of those. Right.
first. It's response, isn't it?
I'll give you first.
Okay, first.
I'll give you
engage.
first and assault. We're right. First and assault.
First and assault. Okay. First.
It's those E words, man. It's hard.
I know. Yeah. Endurance. It's endurance.
Endurance. First endurance assault response.
Perfect.
It stands for First Encounter Assault Recon.
Recon. Oh, okay.
Because
Yeah.
I've never played the Fear series, but you're playing as like a SWAT team going in the fight,
Yeah.
like
Almost the paranormal SWAT
paranormal
response
stuff.
team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up from Mass Effect, Spectre. What does Spectre stand for? I will
Oh,
tell
I
you.
will never guess this in a million
Yeah,
years.
I don't know.
But you're the Mass Effect guys.
I know, and that's fucked up.
I didn't even know that
I will
was an
tell you-
acronym.
It is an acronym. It's Spectre, except no E at the end.
Oh, that helps so much.
Okay. You're not gonna get this. Do you want me to just tell you?
Yes.
Special
All right.
persons?
So Spectre stands for Special Tactics and Reconnaissance.
How does that
How many
work?
letters is that?
That's not the same number.
So they use SPEC for special.
Oh my
the T
god.
from tactics. They leave out and they put R
Stop
for
talking.
reconnaissance.
Stop talking. I'm
Don't-
about to kick you from this Discord call.
Don't get mad at me.
If
Get
you
mad at
keep
BioWare.
talking, if you
Get
keep
mad
talking,
at BioWare.
on to the next one.
Oh, it's only gonna get better. Glue from Prey. This is the gun that you fire out the glue substance and trap the
GLOO.
medics in. Yeah.
Right?
Yep, it is GLOO. What does that stand for?
Gelatinous. Is organism in there?
Yes.
Organic organism. Isn't it organic organism? Gelatinous. What words start with L? What the fuck?
You won't
Joel,
get that.
help out.
I'm just
I
telling you,
never
you're
will.
not gonna get it. You want to know?
Yeah, I've never
I got
played that
nothing.
game either.
Glue stands for Gellifoam Lattice Organism Obstructor.
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Of course it
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
They had to
Yeah.
sound smart, and they can't just
It's a
say
very
glue
good game.
gun. Prey's pretty good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Next up from Overwatch, Mecha. This is what Diva's mech is called.
MEKA, isn't it?
Yes, MEKA. Sorry, I keep forgetting to actually say the thing. MEKA.
Mechanically enhanced. Killing asshole bot.
All right, Joel's no fun with this game, so we're just gonna say Mecha stands for Mobile Exoforce of the Korean Army.
Oh, what? Okay,
Yep.
sure.
Next up, Stalker. So Stalker 2 is on the way next year, I believe. So
Yep.
this is just Stalker. What does Stalker stand for?
Special
Stalker.
Special Tactical Assault. Are any of those
I
words
think
correct?
you're on the right path here. Yeah.
Special Tactical Assault.
It's probably special tactics and special tactics
and Lucifer killing exit reconnaissance.
Perfect. That's it.
Unfortunately, that is not it. Stalker stands for Scavengers, Trespassers, Adventurers, Loners, Killers, Explorers, Robbers.
Okay. Sure, I guess. It's
Next
a shitty
up.
acronym. It's not even a good acronym.
Hawks from the game Hawks.
Tom Clancy's
HAWX.
Hawks?
Oh, Tom
Yes.
Clancy's Hawks?
HAWX.
HAWX.
Hover
X.
assault weaponized
Xylophone.
X-Men.
Hawks stands for High Altitude Warfare Experimental. They just dropped off the E.
I was gonna
Yeah.
guess extreme if they were gonna go that route, but okay.
Extreme.
All right. Our last two I have here are from the same game, Agents of Mayhem. Now, this game is not memorable. It is not that good. It was
the ripoff of like Saints Row and Crackdown, right?
It's a spin-off of Saints Row.
It's a spin-off of Saints Row made by the guys that made Saints Row. So instead of making a good game or a memorable game, they decided to just throw some really bad acronyms in there. So first, we're going to go with Mayhem. And I'm going to tell you right now, you're not getting this.
Magical.
magic, and yes, ham echoes mildly.
Oh my god, you got it. No,
That's
mayhem stands for multinational agency for hunting evil masterminds. So the Y in mayhem is actually from the end of the word agency,
that's fucking cheating, man.
right?
That's not okay. You can't do that.
And then the final one, legion, which isn't as terrible as that last one.
Laborious echo communication, granite in our Nissans.
Legion stands for League of Evil Gentlemen Intent on Obliterating Nations.
Every villain is lemons.
Every villain is lemons. That's essentially what it is.
Evil.
Oh, Agents of Mayhem, we will completely forget you in 5 minutes.
I forgot about it already.
Actually,
what are we talking about?
you're gonna forget about it until I sell a sealed copy for $1.5 million in 5 years. Okay.
Good luck with that.
What happened?
We're right at like the 55-minute mark. Are we cool calling it here? Do you guys want to?
We can
Keep
talk
going.
about
Man,
what
there's
we've
a
been
whole
playing.
lot of nothing to talk about. I have been playing basically nothing but Destiny 2 and Guilty Gear Strive. So I could talk more about that, but I've really got nothing more to say other than buttons are cool, buttons are fun. Play video games. We should write haikus. That's what we should do sometime. We should write haikus. Sorry, I just had a brain blast.
writing-
Jimmy Neutron, Nickelodeon All
Writing
Stars.
poems and Doki Doki isn't enough for you?
Doki's
No,
coming into
of
real
course
life
not.
now. Connor's
Yes.
got poems on the mind.
No,
Yeah,
like
I-
Ghost
I'm
of
on the same
Tsushima
boat.
haikus. What's wrong with you guys?
I'm on the same boat. A haiku is a poem, by the way. I'm
Of course.
I'm on the same boat though. Like I've just been playing Sea of Thieves, MLB The Show, and Fit XR. Like I have nothing new to say. Fit XR makes me sweaty as shit every day I play it during lunch. Yeah, I don't know. VR is a great way to work out if you don't want to go to a gym.
I am playing more Breath of the Wild. I'm still stuck on it. I'm finishing up the DLC that I never played when it first came out. It's the final one where you have to do all the trials for all the champions. Last
Yeah.
one, the 4 and Rivali. And the thing with this is that before you start, you go to this area and it shows you different perspectives of the overall map and tells you where you need to go to do the trials. And I am having the hardest time with Rivali's because Rivali's is in a mountain area with a lot of snow and everything, so I have to like scrounge through and try and find features in the environment that look familiar. So damn annoying. It makes me hate Rivali even more. And it's not even going to pay off or anything. I mean, I'm going to get a motorcycle at the end of this, but like
Dog, the motorcycle's sick. It's so
it's
good.
awesome. But like for the Rivali specific thing, all I'm going to get is just the power it cut in half.
More
for-
sass from
for
a
time.
man-sized bird.
Yeah, Rivali's the worst.
I don't know about
Um,
that, but
oh,
could
he
be an
is.
ass. Yeah.
Well, who's worse than Rivali in the champion circle? Urbosa's
Oh,
amazing. Mifa is adorable, and I love her. And Daruk is just awesome.
You're absolutely right. If we're talking champions, he is definitely the worst champion.
Yeah.
That said, I want to call your attention to Ganon. I mean, hello, clearly the worst guy.
Let's take out Rivali and put Ganon in the champions. Let's do it.
Sounds
give him all the more power.
Breath of the Wild 2, you heard it here first. Rivali's the main villain. That's why we're in the sky, baby.
Let's do
You gotta
it.
hunt him down. We're hunting a
Yes.
bird.
Dude, that would be amazing. I would be so about that.
Be pretty rad.
Is that it?
All right, Joel. I think we're good to sign off.
Quick question, John. Are you gonna be playing Skyward Sword this weekend?
Yeah, I'll finish up Breath of the Wild and I'll be playing Skyward Sword. There are some nice changes to the game coming with autosaves, and there's actually camera controls now on the dumb Wii. Yeah, I'll be giving it a try.
Cool. Well, with that, we are going to end episode 151 of the Pixel Street podcast. Thanks so much for watching and listening to the show. As always, be sure to follow us on Twitter at Pixel Street, and check out our pin tweet there where you can join our Discord server, where we just post, I don't know, news topics and stuff happening. I'm sure we're going to be talking tomorrow about that Elgato announcement that's coming. Subscribe to us on YouTube by searching for Pixel Street Videos. I am still playing through all the Halo games with Will, which he is actually in the process of selling his house, so we could have a setback for a few weeks or a month or two. So we'll see what's going on with that. We are also continuing our playthrough of Doki Doki Literature Club, so be sure to check that out as well. Follow me on Twitter at Campo63, twitch.tv/Campo63, where I do want to stream Breath of the Wild soon. And I'm hoping, John, maybe you can hop in a Discord call with me and just because there's so much of that game I feel like I don't know, and that's why I hate it so much. Because like I play it for like 5 hours and then I wait a month and I play for an hour and then I wait a year and then I play for 3 days and then I wait. I don't know.
It's so
maybe
good,
you
good.
can
I love
maybe
it.
maybe you can hold my hand through it and teach me the ropes as I'm playing.
All right.
Tell me what I'm doing right and wrong. John, where are you at on them Nacho Cheese interwebs?
On Twitter, I am at Revic Shadows. You can also find my writing on GamePro.com. I will be heavily covering the new Zombies map that comes out tonight, actually, in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. So
Oh,
excited.
hold on. That's the real reason John went to bed at a normal time yesterday.
No,
You remember at the beginning of the show, he said he went to bed at a normal time yesterday.
because I was drugged up. That's what I said.
And the real reason is so that he could stay up late tonight and play the new COD Zombies map.
How does that make sense? If my sleep
True.
schedule is
It-
that I
no,
stay
it
awake
makes
through the
sense.
entire
It
night,
makes
why
sense.
would I
We
go to
figured you
sleep
out.
early?
We got
It
you
makes
figured
sense.
out. It's
We
yeah.
figured it out.
Oh, whatever, man. But Mauer der Toten looks amazing. Really dark area in Berlin. There's a subway that runs through the map that's on fire. Oh, I'm so excited to play it.
Sorry, Connor, what about you? I'm drinking water.
You can find me on Twitter and Twitch at the Real Birch and also under John's bed. Yeah, come hang out. I would love to have you and talk. I don't do a lot of stuff right now because I'm really busy and also depressed because the world sucks. But that's okay. It's gonna get better, and video games are here to stay. Probably, I don't know. Maybe they all get deleted in the future or something. Um, John, stop lying about your sleep schedule. It's really not a good look. We know you're cheating on that. So.
Well, we will be right back here next week for episode 152 of the Pixel Street Podcast.
Bye!